Want to take your pork tenderloin from boring to jaw-dropping? Well, today I'm going to show you how to make a prosciutto and Swiss cheese stuffed pork tenderloin that looks fancy, but is surprisingly easy to pull off. Now I get it. Most people don't touch pork tenderloin because they think it's tricky. It dries out fast, it doesn't have a lot of fat, and stuffing it, that sounds complicated. But the truth is, with a couple of easy steps like filleting it flat, seasoning it well, and grilling it just right, you're going to get a pork tenderloin that's juicy on the inside, crispy on the outside, and bursting with flavor from the prosciutto and melted Swiss. So one of the other great things about this, we're gonna put some Dijon mustard on here, and what that's gonna do is give it that flavor inside, but also the outside's gonna be nice and crisp, and it's just gonna taste so amazing. So we're gonna rub some Dijon in here, and then we're gonna start laying this up. We started out filleting the pork tenderloin. We didn't cut through. We want it nice and flat as we can. You can even use a tenderizer if it's a little thick in certain areas. And now we're gonna layer slices of cheese and prosciutto. So now we're gonna be layering the prosciutto just like this, so thin. We're gonna layer some Swiss cheese, and you can put as much or as little as you want. You can also add provolone. I would try to stick to the white cheeses, the white over cheddars, just because of the saltiness of the prosciutto and the seasoning we're gonna put on the outside of this. We're also gonna layer spinach. We're gonna lay some of the spinach on, and then we'll show you how to roll it up. So now we're gonna roll it up, and then we're gonna truss it with butcher twine. And we're gonna try to keep the seam down with the cheese so it gets a little bit crispy. And when we do this butcher twine, we're gonna want to make sure and try to keep it all the same size. So I'm gonna show you how to use butcher twine and truss this, which means tie it nicely so it doesn't fall apart. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our first knot here, and it's kind of like a baker's slip knot. There are different ways of doing this. You can just do a standard square knot, which is fine, and just leave this extra length here. So we're gonna use that later. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this underneath our tenderloin, holding this here, and then we're gonna slide it through like that, pulling all the extra length out. And I cut off about a 8-foot piece of butcher twine to make sure I had enough to truss this completely. And then what that'll do is we'll pull this over here and it'll tighten up, and we're gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna put our finger here, and we're gonna go underneath the tenderloin like this, coming through the twine where we held our finger, and we're gonna pull through. And we're just gonna keep doing this one more time. We're gonna pull this a little bit tighter to try to keep everything kind of the same size. See how that's the same size? And now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go underneath here, come back up, and tie to our original extra tag that I said to leave. We're just gonna tie that in like that, and you can use a square knot, whatever knot you want, and there you have it. Now, the next part is we're going to go ahead, and you can cut the extra off if you want. We're gonna base this with mustard and put some seasoning on it. So I went ahead and combined equal parts salt, pepper, and garlic. And then I'm not gonna use a binder because the moisture is good, but if you needed a binder, you could use yellow mustard or olive oil. And then we're just gonna season this all up with salt, pepper, garlic, and then we're gonna move it over to the grill. So we're gonna be grilling this at 325 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're gonna grill it until it's 160 degrees internal temperature. So we'll come back and check on this in just a few minutes. So once this hits an internal temperature of 160, we're gonna pull it off, we're gonna tent it for about 10 minutes. That resting just keeps it juicy when you slice it. Serve it with your favorite sauce or side. Sometimes I love mine with grilled vegetables, or even just a fresh salad. And right now we're about 153, 148. We are at 160 or 160. Look at that beautiful cheese melted. This is gonna be delicious. I've made this stuffed pork tenderloin for family dinners, holidays, and backyard barbecues, and every time people think I've spent hours on it. What makes this recipe shine is the balance. Savory prosciutto, creamy Swiss cheese, the little tang from the mustard, and that smoky crust from the grill. If you've been nervous about making stuffed tenderloin, don't be. It's easier than it looks, and the results are worth it. Trust me, you're going to love how impressive this one turns out. And it's almost there to 160. It's a 143. So if you've never tried stuffing a pork tenderloin, now's the time. Grab a couple of good cuts, follow the simple process, and let the grill do the magic. Let me know in the comments how yours turns out, or if you've got a favorite stuffed pork recipe I should try next. I'm gonna cut this open. If you want more barbecue tips, recipes, and techniques, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got more coming your way each week to help you up your grill game. So until next time, keep your fire hot, keep your food delicious, and keep your friends close. We'll see you next time.